Good morning. It's Thursday, May 29th. Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell. I serve as HCC's Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager. Pleased to be joined by my co-host, Ms. Linda Davis, who serves as the Office Manager for College Operations at our Northeast College. Good morning, Linda.
Top of the Thursday to you, Sade.
Look, top of the Thursday and end of May. It just zoomed by.
Where did it go? We're almost halfway through the year.
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just zoomed right on by. We're getting ready for our summer term, but this is also a time for a lot of people to reflect, plan. I like to tell people the work doesn't stop over the summer. I think people think that about colleges and working at colleges. They think K through 12, and it's like, no, because we're planning, it seems like we're speeding up. But for those that are planning and reflecting, and they're putting in that plan that they need to get on Up to the Minute or watch more episodes, how can they find us?
We're live on Houston Community College's district Facebook page, not HCC, and YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10, Monday through Friday.
All right, for Thursday Family Fun Day, Houston's oldest operating opera company. There we go. It's showing a classic 80s movie, The Pirates of Penzance. Want to welcome to the show Joe White, who serves as the president of the Gilbert and Sullivan Society of Houston. And he is also the brother of HCC faculty member David White. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Shadi. Thanks for having me on, especially with my brother.
You know, now that I've read that, you all sound alike. Do you get that when people pick up the phone?
Yes, quite often.
There we go. All right. But first, we are spotlighting the Instructional Service Awards with one of HCCTV's own hosts. Want to welcome back to the show Dr. Amy Tan, who serves as the Dean of English and Communications and as a finalist review committee member for the Instructional Service Awards. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. Yeah, that's just a fancy way to say there's a committee and I'm on it.
You know, I think we should just have a whiteboard and come up with fancy ways to say I'm on a committee, because we all relate. That's all real to us in higher ed.
I mean, it's real work, right? And you were talking about how, people think we just stop working. Nope. No, that all that work keeps going.
Yep. During the summer, they say, you know what, committee, we haven't met in a while.
That's right. That's right.
It's time.
You gotta work around all the vacation schedules.
Yeah, that's the hard part about the summer. I've seen the emails. Instructional award nominations are open, and you help select the finalists. So let's start with breaking down the 4 awards and the deadlines.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that you've seen the emails, because we've been really trying to get the word out. And so I appreciate, this opportunity to come on the show and talk about the awards, because I know people, it's so easy. Like, you get the email and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go nominate someone. Go do it. This is your reminder. Do it now. So HCC is accepting nominations for the Instructional Service Awards. There's outstanding faculty leader. That's for department chairs, program directors, associate chair, program coordinator, faculty director, or similar positions. So, if your role is similar. Outstanding faculty member, outstanding instructional services administrator, and by administrator they mean dean, executive director, similar positions, director. Outstanding instructional services staff member, and so anybody who's a staff member and reports up to instruction. And so you can nominate your full-time colleagues, or you can nominate yourself, and the deadline is coming up. It is midnight Sunday, June 1st, so do it this week.
There you have it. And so outstanding, that's in the name of each one of those awards. But what's outstanding is subjective and contingent upon how someone is being measured. So I'm really happy to hear that the baseline for the criteria is based on our Caring Campus project, which puts care at the core of how outstanding is being evaluated.
Yes, and that was really what the committee talked about, right? We talked about how difficult it is. We have such wonderful people who work here at HCC, and we want to recognize everyone. And how do you determine, someone we have so many outstanding people, and it's really hard to make that decision. And so this year, the group decided that we want to support the Caring Campus project, that this is a really important initiative for us. It's related to all the work that we've been doing with Mosaic and Me and our strategic plan. And so that's why we decided to emphasize Caring Campus. And you know that there's two, there's the staff side and the faculty side. And so when you go in to fill out the application, you're going to see that the questions are asking about Caring Campus and that they're aligned with the values and the commitments of the Caring Campus.
Well, so nominations are due June 1st. That means go open your email, get that link, and get to it before you get to your weekend festivities. Okay. And for those who are, once that nomination is submitted, are people able to nominate themselves, or how does the nomination process happen?
Absolutely. You can nominate yourself, and you can also look around for somebody who you feel deserves to be recognized. And I know that that's time out of your that's the hard part, but it really is worth it. And it's just a wonderful thing to see the people recognized. They will be recognized on sorry, I think I'm jumping ahead. They will be recognized on Instructional Day, which is going to be August 22nd. And it's just lovely. 800 people in the room for Instructional Day. And this year, yes, so all the faculty, and it's just a really special moment. And if you don't get it this year, there's always next year, because we're going to keep doing this.
Yeah, and it's something special about being recognized among your peers who know the struggle, right? I've worked in higher ed going on 10 years now, but I haven't been on the instructional side. That is a different type of experience that comes with different types of challenges and rewards. So knowing you're sitting in a room being recognized by people who get it, I'm sure means even more to those who end up winning.
Absolutely. And it is, on what we want to do on Instructional Day is we want our faculty to feel valued, right? We want everybody in the room to feel valued. And this is just a moment to recognize someone that we know has gone above and beyond and has put in that extra work and really shines and represents those values of Caring Campus. And so it's just being part of it, even being the person who gets to announce the awards, and and the faculty, they cheer. It's just it's wonderful.
Yeah, and Instructional Day is a part of Instructional Week, which is like really the kickoff for our faculty members for a new semester. So it's my understanding that there's registration for that. So how can people get ahead of the game?
Yeah, so look for look in your email. The email went out for registration. It's ID Loom portal. You're gonna pick your breakfast and all of those things that you usually do. But go look for your email. It's a big week, and I know we're talking about summer, and we said that May just flew by, and we know that summer is gonna fly by, but we don't want to rush it. We don't want to rush summer. We want to enjoy it. But also we know August is going to be here. So before you depart for summer, go check out that registration. And it is a special week, and it's something that I look forward to every year. When I was a faculty member, I just couldn't wait to get back and meet, be in person, see all my colleagues, see people in other departments that I, maybe only see once or twice a year. And just to have that day of reflection and getting your mind ready for the semester. But look for the registration. All college leadership. This is something new this year. On August 12th, it used to be only instructional leaders, but now we want to bring our student services in. So all college leadership is being invited to the August 12th Leaders Day. I think that's really important to bring us together on the same page. Again, August 22nd is Instructional Day for all full-time faculty, and August 26th is when we're going to have our adjunct faculty meeting, and that's going to be in the evening to make it more possible for our adjuncts to attend.
All right, so it's 3 call to actions for our faculty, our instructional members. You look at submitting that award, you mark your calendars for Instructional Week, and make sure you register. And then there's one other deadline I want to go over quickly because we're running out of time, but professional development. What's the deadline to submit that request?
June 12th. So if anybody has any faculty development, you want to go to a conference, you want to buy some course materials, you want to buy reading materials for yourself, there's a subscription, this is the time to do it. Don't wait. Don't waste those funds.
All right, June 2nd. As summer is kicking off, what's advice you always give to your students to start off the semester?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I really think it's important to relax, right? Take a minute just to be present. And I know that our students they worry because they're not busy, but it's okay. It's okay not to be busy because you're gonna be busy soon. And then come back to it refreshed.
Yes, love that. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking to one of our own HCCTV hosts, Dr. Amy Tan, who's the Dean of English and Communications, and then will also serve as a member of the Finalist Review Committee for Instructional Service Awards. Details about all the deadlines we talked about during this segment will be posted after the show. And after a commercial break, Linda and I will be back to talk. Linda will be back to talk with our Family Fun Day guests.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me, I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
Moving on to Joe White, president of Gilbert and Sullivan Society of Houston. Welcome back to the show, Joe.
Thank you so much for having me on, Linda. Good to see you.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing all about the special movie fundraiser for your group. But first, give us a little background on the society itself.
Sure. Back in 1951, a group of friends, including Dr. Merrill Lewis, who's the Dean of Music over at the University of Houston and the Director of Music at First Christian Church, John Cooper, who was the headmaster at the Kincaid School, Eleanor Miller, and a few others, decided they wanted to put on a Gilbert and Sullivan show. So they made their own costumes. They named badges around their necks to show who was playing what character. And they did a performance in 1952 of The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan. And they thought it was so much fun and they got so much encouragement, they established the Gilbert and Sullivan Society of Houston. And from those humble beginnings, they went on to perform in Jones Hall, and then were the first group performed in the Cullen Theater at the Wortham Center, and have gone on to win international acclaim at the International Gilbert and Sullivan Festival in England. Even had a production recorded for great performances on PBS that got nominated for an Emmy. So have grown from very humble beginnings to being one of the premier presenters of Gilbert and Sullivan operas in the world. And we are committed to bringing these fun, family-friendly shows at a professional level to Houston audiences today.
Wow. I tell you, I am so excited to have you on. I tell you what we could discuss. Let's talk a little bit about the history, a little of the history of the performances. I understand the society had its performance of the Prince Idea recorded by PBS and won an Emmy.
Back in 1974, we did a production of Princess Ida, and they had just built a brand new TV facility at the University of Texas. And through some connections at Gulf Oil, they were able to bring the production over and record it in the brand new TV facilities there. and for the Great Performances series on PBS. And it was extremely well received and got nominated for an Emmy. So I think we're the only, we were at the time completely volunteer organization to ever be nominated for an Emmy before, or probably since.
Wow, that is great. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Pirates of Penzance. Penzance, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So Gilbert and Sullivan were theater superstars. They're kind of like the Lin-Manuel Mirandas of their time. And in fact, Lin-Manuel Miranda got his start in musical theater in the 8th grade by playing the Pirate King in a production of The Pirates of Penzance. And it had a great influence on him because in his show Hamilton, he has General Washington sing a song called Modern Major General, which is straight out of Pirates of Penzance. There's all kinds of cultural references, The Simpsons and Family Guy, The West Wing, lots of Gilbert and Sullivan stuff all throughout cultural history. Because the shows are such fun and have such relevance even to today that here we are over 140 years from the first performance of the Pirates of Penzance, that it was actually had its premiere in New York City rather than London. They were trying to avoid some of the copyright pirates that were around at the time. So they had the premiere in New York City in 1879 on New Year's Eve. So, but today on Broadway, we have a new production of The Pirates starring David Hyde Pierce as in the major general role, but they've jazzed up the score and set it in New Orleans. It's a great fun. It's been nominated for a Tony itself. It just shows the staying power of these shows. They're operas in name, but they're really the basis on which American musical theater is built. Everything that we have and enjoy today, a lot of it traces its roots back to what Gilbert and Sullivan did almost a century and a half ago.
Wow. Now the 80s version came about and it started out an opera. And I hear that Kevin Kline was on Broadway at the time.
Yes. So Joseph Papp, producer in New York, for the 100th anniversary of The Pirates of Penzance, staged a new production that had the score enlivened and did it in an open air theater in New York City that was such a great success that they took it to Broadway. And it starred Kevin Kline as the Pirate King and Linda Ronstadt as the love interest Mabel, Rex Smith, who was a big rock star at the time, as the tenor lead Frederick. And it was nominated for many Tonys and won several, including Best Actor for Kevin Kline and Best Director and Production for the director. And it won 5 of 8 Drama Desk Awards that year as well.
Wow.
So that was so popular that they made a movie version of it. And they brought in Angela Lansbury to join the cast on it. And it is so much fun. And we're so happy to partner with River Oaks Theater to bring this.
Well, I have to tell you, I did a sneak peek. I went out to the website and I did a sneak peek. I won't give it away, but give us a quick synopsis of what the show is about.
So the show is set with Frederick, who has been apprenticed to a band of pirates. He's turning 21, so he's out of his apprenticeship. So he doesn't like actually being a pirate. Well, it turns out he wasn't supposed to be a pirate. He was supposed to be apprenticed to a pilot, but his nursemaid Ruth had misheard, so she stuck around with him to help with the mistake. Anyway, he's now free. He runs into a band of lovely young ladies and immediately falls in love with one of them. The pirates show up to try to capture them, and he says, "Oh, no, we can't do that." The Major General shows up, who's their father. It gets all very convoluted, but it turns out it ends happily because the pirates are all orphans. And Major General says, well, I'm an orphan too. And so they let him go. Everything's happy at the end of Act One, but it turns out that's not quite the case. Major General told a terrible story.
Oh my goodness. Well, it sounds like a bunch of calamity, but it ends with a love wins. So I'm so excited about that. It sounds like fun. And how can we see it and when does it premiere?
It's going to be on next Wednesday, June the 4th at 7 o'clock at the River Oaks Theater. And we're so grateful to have that cultural jewel back in our city's firmament with River Oaks Theater. Folks are wonderful to be partnering with groups like ours to present shows like this as fundraisers. And
Yes.
tickets, $5 from every ticket sold will go to benefit the society. So 7 o'clock at River Oaks Theater. Tickets are available now at riveroakstheater.com. That's THEATRE for theater spelling, the British way.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joe, President of Gilbert and Sullivan Society of Houston. We'll have your information in the post after the show.
Thank you
Coming
so
up
much,
after a
Linda.
quick commercial break, Sade and I will return with some news and announcements.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
All right, welcome back. We're going to wrap things out like we always do here on Up to the Minute with news and announcements happening across HCC and in our community. Want to kick things off with our first announcement that is calling all innovators to a metaverse camp. HCC's Next Gen AI and Metaverse Camp is said to not just be another summer camp, but a chance to design, build, and innovate with the latest tools shaping tomorrow's digital universe. Limited spots are available. It'll be happening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday from June 9th through the 13th at our HCC Central campus. Be sure to check the details posted after the show to see all the age requirements and how you can participate.
Mindful Mondays, Southeast Student Life. HCC's Rec Sports and Student Life is offering a peaceful reset with light yoga, guided breathing techniques, and wellness tips designed to refresh your mind and body. You can also learn easy ways to stay hydrated, manage stress, and take care of your whole self, inside and out. Noon to 12:30 p.m. Monday, June 9th, and 23rd, HCC Southeast, HCC Student Life Center foyer. Check out the post after the show.
All right. Well, daily I asked him, am I the drama? And that is only of a tease to our summer drama production by our Media, Visual, and Performing Arts Center of Excellence here at HCC, along with Screaming Media Productions, is presenting the annual G60 Houston featuring select 1-minute plays from around the world. They'll be performed by our HCC drama students. It'll be happening at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday, July 2nd through the 3rd at our HCC Fine Arts Center Black Box Theater. It is free. Registration is encouraged. Check the details posted after the show.
Eagle Promise. Some can earn their degrees for free. Eligible high school students are encouraged to apply to the Eagle Promise program. If they qualify and their grants and scholarships don't cover costs of an HCC degree or certificate, Eagle Promise dollars will pay for tuition, fees, and book allowances up to $500 each semester. Deadline to apply, September the 30th. Check out the post for information and registration after the show.
All right, well, as we wrap out May, we want to remember that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's a good time to check in with yourself and see how you could access or use some extra support with our HCC resources for living. HCC offers a variety of ways to learn more about emotional well-being and practice self-care while also helping to take care of the most important people in your life. Be sure to check the details posted after the show on how to access resources.
Fall registration has opened, summer's ongoing. It's time to think about fall classes early. Or you still have, while you still have time in the summer courses to help stay on track. HCC classes are still offered in a variety of programs, semester lengths, and range of modalities, including online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, both face-to-face and partially virtual, in-person, and hybrid labs. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, you know where to find us at hccs.edu/apply.
All right, well, coming up for Film Friday, a local author will discuss her book and documentary work about the scientist and the serial killer, the true story of how she helped to restore the long-lost identities of the teenage victims of the Candyman. And one of our own HCCTV producers will share her Parkinson's experience and research for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, including some scratch and sniff trials she's conducting. Want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.